back to our sweet home, Africa. Once again, my name is Mrs. Augustina Anyanwu, and help me welcome my friend,
Mrs. Ezemma. Welcome back to our sweet home, Africa. It's always a pleasure to have you as our viewers. All right, today again, we have a great topic. All right, so our topic today is actually, I'll just start with a little introduction before I nail it down.
Okay. Let's hear you.
Exactly. We'll talk about community organizations. We have so many community organizations in diaspora.
Yes.
From America to London, from London to Canada, from Canada to South Africa, from South Africa to Australia. You name it. Wherever Africans are scattered, they have community organizations. So, our topic today is, are these community organizations a blessing to us, or are they a curse to us? So that's what my friend and I will look into today. You know, let's weigh the pros and the cons, because it's always good to belong and be part of a community. But you have to understand what the purpose of that organization is, and the community, organizations that we have. And their missions. I know we addressed mission statements and everything before. But let's look into what is going on and see, like I said, if it's a blessing or a curse to us. So my dear friend, without much ado, once again, so you've seen that we have so many community organizations.
Yes, of which, we belong to some of them.
Exactly. And the purpose of these organizations, to my understanding, is to bring unity.
Yes, to know each other.
Exactly, bring unity in the community. And then to bring our children together.
You got it.
And also see what we can do in terms of helping people at home to be able to pull resources together to help rebuild Africa. But I have understood, I mean, from being part of some of these organizations and then from hearing all that has been going on in terms of conflict upon conflict upon conflict, and then leadership, and there's always friction. So I don't know what is causing all these problems. So let's look into it a little bit and then see what we can advise in terms of how we can get along, because we've come from far away. So for us to come from far away and start having so much conflict in these organizations actually is draining both our energy and our finances. So my friend, once again, have you heard about all these conflicts that are going on in all these community organizations that we have all over the world?
Yeah, if I say I have not heard, I'm not saying the actual truth. Yes, I've been involved in some of them because I'm part of some organizations too. So I have witnessed some, and at the same time, the issue now is what can we do? Is there anything we can tell, our brethren, so that as we join these organizations, first of all, like we addressed the last time, we have to know their mission statement. We have to know why that organization is formed. Don't join it because your friend or somebody asked you to come and get it. You have to make sure that whatever they ask, what that particular organization stands for, is in alignment to what you want to see at the end of the day.
That's true.
And looking at what is going on now, like you said, some of them, like the ones I was part of, was to be able to know each other. At the same time, bring our children. Some of us want our children to speak our dialect.
Exactly.
So some of us want our children to know our culture. Some of us want our children to intermarry. Some of us just want our children to continue the legacy when we leave. Because some of us might go back to where we come from.
That's true.
And then we don't want our children to get lost in a system like that. So once they know, okay, this is what daddy and mommy used to do, and this is what, with them coming, so we'll be able to look back and say, oh yes, we left a good legacy. But unfortunately, I don't know if it's too much education, I don't know if it's because some of these organizations are like 2 or 3 states joined together. So I think then eventually they start fighting each other because they don't have a common, they don't have that common goal. So what you came to join because maybe you saw them doing a party and you like what they're doing, but you don't know their mission statement. So eventually it become a curse. Actually, one of my kids, like I mentioned the last time, maybe stated that, oh, mommy, today this one is our uncle. Tomorrow, this uncle is writing this and that about our daddy. He's writing something like this. How can somebody like this be our daddy? Is it true our daddy did this? So by then, you just like, it become a shock. Then you either get out of that meeting, or then you start your own group as to be able to, you know, to do anything to deserve that meeting, or just start going to court. That's the worst part of it. You know, they go take each other to court. They hire lawyers, so literally they hire lawyers because of organizations that are supposed to put us together, to bring everybody together, to bring, and unfortunately again, we don't even take our children to the meetings. All these organizations, we leave our children at home because we know that maybe our behavior there might not portray who we actually are or what we want our children to see. So we don't take them to all those meetings. So there's no way they can see what is going on those organizations. There is no way they will be part of it and have an input in what is going on. So that has been a nightmare to me, and it's a little bit scary. So I don't know what else, how you're going to advise our people to let their yeah be yeah and no be no, so that we can follow that whatever the mission statement is in anything we are doing. So over to you. So I think.
Thank you so much, my friend. Well, as usual, I always like your advice. All right, there's something that you pointed out, because I know some people that have watched our previous episodes, I think you've had us say about mission statements in terms of
joining.
Exactly. We told people that if you want to pick an organization, make sure that you have read their mission statement and make sure that it's in line with your own mission statement, so that all of you will be traveling in the same direction. But if you join a meeting, like we said, though it's a community organization, but if you're not part of what they want to do, it's okay. You can even come from that place, but it doesn't mean that you have to join if you don't like what they're doing. I mean, their mission is not your mission, because everyone have different mission. Everyone have different calling. I'll just use this simple analysis. It's almost like, let's say, if they have an organization that they preserve salmon, and it happened that I love salmon so much. So if I'm part of that organization, and everyone is talking about, oh, you know what, we'll do our best to preserve salmon. My own opinion would be like, let's kill the salmon because I love to eat salmon. So when you look at it, if I'm in an organization that is trying to preserve salmon and I love salmon, what is going to happen is that there will be friction because their opinion will be different, mine is different because I have different agenda to kill the salmons. So, I know, so our point is this: make sure that you're in line with what they're doing. And the conflicts that are coming along. We have understood, exactly, it has something to do with leadership. I know leadership is another, episode that we'll address, but let me just give a little insight in the leadership in the organizations that I have seen and heard. Most of the time, people are fighting in terms of who is going to be a leader, who is going to be a leader. But that's one thing about a leader. A leader, most of the time, is someone that is born to lead.
Have to be a servant.
Exactly. So it has to be someone that is very humble, someone that is very understanding, and then someone that is open to suggestions.
That to be a statesman. To do all that.
Exactly. So it's not someone that will be there and become a dictator, like, all right, I don't want anybody's opinion. Because let's see, most of us, we live in diaspora, and all of us work somewhere. So sometimes, some of you, especially the ones in the executive positions, you go to meetings, and then you sit there, maybe the director of your institution will conduct a meeting, everybody will be quiet there, and when it's your turn, you will speak. When it's somebody else's turn, you will allow them to speak.
That's right.
But what I don't understand is this: a lot of Africans, they do so well, even in executive positions in the diaspora.
That's right.
They're very humble, but when it comes to community organizations, when they come there, their behavior is different. So, which is almost like what is called a dual personality. And then you call it almost bipolar. You behave this way when you go to the meetings in diaspora that are run by the Westerners, and then you behave this differently when it's a meeting that is run by your people. So the same behavior that you bring out when you go to these meetings, you're very humble, you're listening to everybody, and you're hearing everybody's opinion. Why don't we carry the same behavior and use it in our community organizations?
That will go
when somebody is speaking, you allow the person to finish speaking. You take your time to listen to what they have to say. And then, you know, think of what they're saying. Don't even listen to the speaker like, oh, you know, I have to, exactly, I have to listen to Augustina because she's my friend. So whatever her opinion is, I have to agree to it. No.
That's wrong.
It doesn't matter who is speaking. It could be someone that you like or someone that you don't like. It could be even a child. Take your time, hear what the person wants to say, and then be able to think if it is a good idea or a bad idea.
For the organization.
Exactly.
For the people, you know, if it's in alignment with whatever the organization stands for, not the person, the actual person that is
speaking. Exactly. And then we form these mini cliques, mini cliques and mini cliques. So instead of looking at what someone brought out, even if it is a great idea, we're looking, well, is that person from our clique? If it is from our clique, we'll support the person. If it is not from our clique, we won't support the person. So that's what is causing all these conflicts. And then you end up going to court. And going to court means money. Because for you to hire a lawyer, you have to pay the lawyer money. So the purpose of these organizations, one of it was to be able to pool resources together. And now the finances that you have pulled together, you are using to go to court. So, because when you look at it, I mean, we have been in diaspora for many years. I know my friend and I, we've been here so many years. And we've seen so many organizations. So if these organizations, even if they're using, at least, let me call it, $1,000 every year to make a difference in Africa, by now, Africa would have been developed.
Oh, yes.
So,
not because we're ready waiting for the government to do roads, to give us lights, to give us this, to get a great job. And then we displace so many things. And we don't know that individually, collectively, we can be able to be productive and do something meaningful at home. So another thing you're talking about, all these organizations, not only that they will fight and whatever, what about the changing of uniforms? Whatever we want to do, we do uniforms. And the point I know, the point I'm making is, some of us are getting to the age of retirement. And we are not thinking about that. These organizations, we have to do it so that at the end, when you retire, you look back, you say, oh, when I was there, when I was a governor, when I was the president of this organization, I helped to do X, Y, Z. So somebody will be the president until when you finish. You cannot look back and say, okay, this is what I did that benefit people at home, or benefit our community, or benefit even the children that are here. We are not doing anything. It's every year we take money to campaign. What are you campaigning for?
Oh, I love, you know, that's something that you brought up. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Have you finished?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, because when you talk about a campaign, and you talk about when you finish, let's say if you were the president of an organization, and
you finish nothing.
Exactly. No, that's something that I want to bring out.
Okay.
You know, most of the time what they do is this. When someone, let's say, if you led the organization for maybe 2 or 3 years, once you leave that position and another person comes in,
you start fighting them.
Thank you. Instead of that person, the new person that have now taken the position, working towards accomplishing something, the person will focus his energy on trying to see what the predecessor did wrong. Did wrong. So my point is this, you know, what you do, because when you look at leadership, the leadership here is they keep on going. In the Western world, another person will come, you know, maybe the first person laid a foundation, the other one will continue on that line and then make things better. But our own, instead of going forward, we go backwards. We say, oh, this is what B did wrong. This is what C did wrong. So you waste your first year looking at problem, and you waste your second year trying to
solve the problem. And then it's time for you to
and you have not even brought out what you want to do yourself.
Idea. Because they have nothing to offer. They just want to get that person out. That's all.
So please, my people, we have so much to do here.
There's so much
to offer. Actually, we are really confusing ourselves in terms of these problems and this problem. We have so much that we don't have time to start fighting each other. I mean, like I said, we behave so well in the Western world. We behave so well when we belong to part of their own community. But when we form our own, so much conflict. So we have to think of what we're doing wrong.
You're right.
We have to get along with each other, in terms, especially in communities.
When it comes to that association, for the purpose, if you respect the organization, if you love that organization, if you know that progress is good for you and for your own, you know, your children or your offspring, please yield to that statement, the mission statement. Try to yield that to that. Try to respect the organization. Try to respect what it stands for. Don't worry about who are sitting at the executive table. Don't worry about that. Just do whatever you can to build that organization up. Do whatever you can to build whoever is the leader, to support the leader, so that if there is any project that is mentioned or they want to do, please don't kill it. Let it keep on going, because we are bigger. Africa don't even have a house. Nigeria don't have. There's no part of Africa will say, okay, this is what they have achieved from doing X, Y, Z. And we are bigger than that. We work so hard. We pay whatever dues. So let's put it into something meaningful, something useful, so that when our children see it, you call them, we're having a yearly whatever, we are celebrating. They will be comfortably sit there and say, okay, this is what I'm giving. They don't see nothing, so we don't blame them if they don't come out and join that organization. We cannot do that to our own children. We have to do something so that at the end, they will say, oh, okay, this is what our parents did. Maybe we got to rebuild it, maybe we have to expand on that, so that they can be able to have a sense of belonging. Please, my people, I don't know what else you got to tell
my friend.
Once again, our people, we just have to do something to bring these children to know exactly, to have that sense of belonging. I know some of them give them our traditional names. That's not enough. They want to have that sense of belonging that we have. We cannot deny them that right.
Yes. And you know, actually you've said it all, but at the same time, let me just add this. We applaud the ones that are doing well, because when we say this, it doesn't mean that all the community organizations are not doing well. But what we said, let it be a blessing to us, but not a curse.
Yes.
Because it will be a curse if we keep on fighting, but it will be a blessing if we use it to accomplish the purpose by which it is formed. So on that note, there's something that you pointed out. I know this is a little bit longer episode in terms of uniform and uniform and uniform.
Yes.
We addressed financial waste, we addressed men's financial waste, we addressed women's financial waste. But let's look at it a little bit more in terms of organizations. Yes, we're getting towards the end of the year. December is coming. And we know in Africa they celebrate Christmas and they celebrate, I mean, a lot of holidays during the Christmas.
You're right.
So when you look in the diaspora now, almost all churches, all organizations, they're getting ready for Christmas. And
that's right.
To them, in the Western world, Christmas means it's time for gifts, time to give people, time to give the poor, time to give your friends and families gifts. All right, so we are Africans. Since we're in diaspora and we're doing as much as we can to behave like them, why don't we, at this time, start putting things together in these community organizations and make an impact this Christmas? Go to your village, go to your anywhere that you come from. These organizations, like I said, many of them in diaspora, I'm sorry to say this, maybe to bring it out to limelight, many of them in diaspora have thousands of dollars in their bank. I have to let you know. Yes, they have thousands of dollars in their bank. And like I said, it doesn't have to take much to make a difference.
Yes.
Even if it is $500, even if whatever you have this Christmas, you could pull your resources together. And the women that are buying uniform and uniform and uniform, you can bring all those uniforms, put those together. They said one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yes. All right, so you can pull all those ashebis, all those uniforms, especially the ones in your closet that you have not been wearing, pull them together, send them somewhere in Africa. It doesn't matter, even if it is not your own country, you can send it to another country. Yes. So that people can use it this Christmas. And then look a little bit different. It's a time of giving. You know, maybe some people have it and they don't even know how to send it or where to send it to. That's another thing. Yes. Because I know you have made it known to everybody, like if you have things and you don't know where to send it, because we have a program for the widows, those that are real widows. So we have a program where we give them things. So if you don't know where to send yours, you can get in touch with my very self.
or get in touch with my friend, and then we can send it to the widows in Nigeria. If you have any, you select, we can send it to your place, or we send it to our people. So please, do not put those things in the garbage. Don't let it be a garbage for you. So we can help you get rid of it the right way.
Okay, as we try to end this episode, actually, I said, it's always, I remember there was a time that we said it's always good to practice what we preach.
Yes.
And we talked about clothing and shaving and everything. Soon we'll be addressing a lot of questions that so many people have asked us about, so many different things. So maybe at the beginning of next year, we'll start answering questions on, on the episode. Exactly.
Yeah.
So one of the questions actually that we'll address will be clothing. Yes, when we talked about financial ways and everything, we are proud to let you know that since we started this episode, we started it at the beginning of this year. So we've had almost 35 to 40 episodes, and we have not bought clothes. Most of the clothes, remember at the beginning of our episode, we told people, go back to your closets and see what you have.
You're
so
right.
Almost everything that we've been wearing are things that we bought even when the kids were very small, almost like 20, 30 years ago. So I think if we can all go into our closets, we can find beautiful clothes. Because if we can do so many episodes with clothes that we bought many, many years ago, that means every Nigerian, every African woman has so many clothes in their closets that they can wear for a whole year without buying new ones, unless you have to. All right, so that's the end of our episode today. My friend, I don't know if you have more things to add.
Yeah, thank you so very much, because we just want all these organizations to be a blessing to our families, to us that are involved, and to our children that are here in America, so that they will have the opportunity to and have the mindset to say, okay, once, maybe in every 2 months, we got to get together and talk about our fears concerning Africa. So please, don't let it die in our hands. All right? And those that are not involved in the organization, please try to find the one that fits you, so that we can all collectively help to rebuild Africa. This is the right time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, and to end it, the ones that are all in court, still fighting over leadership and fighting everything, bring it home, so that people in the organization, like we said, they might have like they can resolve the conflicts.
Yeah, we have older people in the organization.
Exactly. I mean, there's no point fighting and wasting money. That money can be used to help someone in Africa.
Yes.
So thank you so much for watching us again, and look forward to our other episode that is coming up next week. May God bless you.
And thank you so much. And continue to subscribe. As you listen to us, send it to your friends. Please send it out to your friends, your well-wishers, your co-workers. Send it out and subscribe. God bless you, and you have a great